what we witnessed yesterday was unfair.
The good major that we played against them, people just have to watch Dalke. He's
the best golfer on the planet. He could win a professional tournament tomorrow if he played the way he did yesterday.
He's so good.
He's by far the best player I've ever played with in a round. And, we've played with Schumann, guys that are scratch and better. And it's different.
Windy day.
What is he, a +3?
+6.
He's a +6?
When we were doing handicaps on the first tee yesterday, and he got out of the cart and was like, "You're not going to believe this. This sucks, but I'm a +6." And that's a fictional number because, when we play golf, like Trent and I played with Max a couple weeks ago. It was awesome off cameras, kind of hanging. And when those guys play money games against people, they play as about a +5 is about what they play. But they don't really keep handing. You know what I mean? Like a little bit they do, whatever. Him coming out being like, I'm a +6, you kind of think like, all right, yeah, like whatever. How good could you be? The fact that there's anyone on earth that's better at golf than that is unimaginable. He hits the ball so straight, so far.
It's a robot.
It's amazing.
Same swing every time.
Swinging so hard, too.
Yeah, as hard as he wants.
It just doesn't make any sense. And if he doesn't birdie a hole, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
I felt like an asshole the night before dinner, before we even saw him play. He was talking to me. He's like, I saw those chip-ins. I saw those putts. You're playing great. And I was like, yeah, it's been awesome. I was like, how are you playing? He's like, yeah, pretty good. And then he went out there and he's playing as good as he's ever played.
You asked him at dinner last night, why are you here?
I meant it. Yeah, I
Which
said
led to an awkward silence.
in a very no, but I meant the question, and I was glad that I asked it.
You led it with no offense by this, which everybody.
No, I know, but I said basically, what is separating you from the PGA Tour? Because we can't fathom, as you said, that there is a better level of golf. I get that it's I'm sure that if John Rahm were playing with us in that yesterday, we would have had the same feelings, if not even more so. But to me, a guy who, he's giving strokes back. So he had to make birdies in order to earn a par on a couple holes.
Did that through three out of the 4 times.
Did it a couple of times. Where I just said, what's the difference? Why aren't you a pro? And he said if he had it all set up right now where he could just walk onto the Korn Ferry Tour, he would consider that, or the PGA Tour, but he doesn't like the lack of structure and the grind that is working your way up through those sort of local tournaments to get your spot and then grind on the Korn Ferry Tour. And his other answer was when he was playing pro, he was nowhere near as good as he is now.
Yeah.
That he's much better now and playing much better now than he was a couple of years ago.
He couldn't hit driver, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling me in the cart because, as you know, I cannot hit driver frequently, and especially yesterday. And so we were talking about in the cart, and I was trying to, get him going a lot. And he was awesome. He's talking to me a lot about the swing, but he was going through. He'd be like, dude, you got to realize, now I'm in a position where, and he was explaining, he was like, everyone at the highest level, they've got 2 or 3 things that they can always go to. Mm-hmm. He's like, no matter what, that even when they're playing poorly, they've got 1 thing they can try, 2 thing they can try, or 3 thing they can try that will inevitably lead to them hitting it good enough to get through that round at a pretty good score. And he was like, I did not have that. Yeah. He's like, I was at a point where I was hitting it off the planet. And he's like, that high right thing you've got that you hate? He's like, I had that. And I was trying to play pro golf with that. And it was a disaster. And he was saying, he's like, I'm way better now than I was then. And it reminded me a lot of Alistair when you were talking about the grind and going through of you can't just be like, okay, Dalke's really good. Now you get to tee up on the PGA Tour and let's see how good you are. It's you got to go through first stage, second stage, third stage against everyone that's almost just as good or better than you are now, which is hundreds of people. Get through each stage, get through the bad breaks, all that. And then even if you get through that, then you're barely on the Korn Ferry Tour where you've got 8 starts, which the Korn Ferry Tour sucks. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's that life sucks. You're traveling all over the North and South America. You're going to places playing for relatively very little money. You got to have a lot of money up to even get there. And I understand it sucks. And he's instead, he's out there yesterday. He's able to swing relatively free because it's it is YouTube golf. And I understand that, but I think even in his answering that question, there was a little bit of him being like, I do think about this because
Yes.
he's so good at
I think
golf.
he's the best golfer that's not pursuing professional golf in the world.
I have no idea.
I don't know how you can-
Quan would be up there
I think
too.
Dalke's better than him.
When we
so f***ing good.
when we finished that conversation, Bubby chimed in and was like, I want to see you try it. And you could tell we'd struck a chord where, like, I think their group, my guess would be, they've all been starting to think, like, we want to send
He's
you
that
off.
good. He's playing that.
And
Imagine
they're like,
seeing
our
him
guy
every day.
is good. The world needs to see how good our guy
Imagine
is.
seeing him play like that every day.
Dude,
And he's shooting 63s on like good videos.
he
Like, what's
shot,
happening? Like, what are we talking
shot
about?
58 twice.
This is what I'm talking about. And the guy's not pursuing professional golf. This is a God-given talent that this guy can play golf better than 99.999% of people in the world. He has to go.
But
has to go
that
try.
other small
How old
percentage
is
is
he?
on the Korn
25?
Ferry Tour.
How old is he? How old is Dalke?
26,
Mid-twenties.
27?
Oh, he's
Is
in
he
his
really?
30s?
Oh.
Oh, he's washed
He
up.
does what what you hear the pros do, where
That's fine.
every birdie putt, especially that's uphill,
He's 27.
He's 27.
I just looked it up.
Oh, a little pup.
every birdie putt that he has, 20 feet, 30 feet, or whatever, he puts it 2 feet by the hole if he misses, and then has no doubt that he's going to make that 2-footer for par, and he hammers those short putts. Hammers them. Like the ball, there's no break. He's just going to throat it back in the hole.
His life's pretty good now, though.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
know?
thing. I think
Travels
he's
all
realized
over,
that.
plays in Hawaii, hangs around with good. You know what I mean? It's like the grind would stink.
Woo!
The grind would stink. And he gets to hang out and go to places like Hawaii.
But he's got to have those competitive, you know?
Maybe.
Like, to think you could really make it.
That 14th hole, that par 3 that we were talking about, that Happy Madison production.
Yeah.
There was a couple of good shots on there. I actually hit probably one of the shots of my life on there with all the pressure, like hitting it over the ravine, the whole entire deal.
People all over the place.
It
Children.
It was playing 190 yards,
from
not an
the
easy
carts.
shot. I hit a 6-iron there, and I think he hit an 8-iron that touched the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm talking, went, whoa, like an Elon Musk rocket. It was different. Just the most different ball flight you have ever seen. An effortless 8-iron into the wind as it carried it to 10 feet from the pin.